praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, yaHAWASHI, Bahashem, Rakaha Kodash. A double honors to my elders, apostles, and the bishops of Great Millstone, where I have learned this truth and where I am still learning this truth. And also shalom to the remnant and the elect of Israel. No matter what you look like, all right, shalom to the remnant and to the elect of Israel. Lord willing, I'm of that number. All right, so this video is going to be an introduction, Lord willing, an introduction into what we are about to go into in the next series on this channel. But before we go into what that title is going to be, which you know it now, clicking on this video, it's already been set. But before we do, I just wanted to go into we are not taught to, or my teachers don't teach or preach to go do violence. All right, we are a scriptural people. All right, a faith-based people. Okay, and the Lord says, vengeance is His. All right, but even in saying this, all right, we have found our way, or the wicked of this earth has found a way to put us on most violent lists, most violent groups lists. All right, there are many Israelite groups out there. Okay, there are many so-called people who speak on the Bible. All right, but we are about the truth. Okay, the truth. And how can you tell? By doctrine. All right, by doctrine. You have to listen. You have to be willed by Yahweh and yaHAWASHI to know the doctrine and to hear it and to recognize His voice. All right. So let's start with Sirach, the prologue of the book of Sirach, otherwise known as the book of Ecclesiasticus. This is in the Apocrypha. All right, this won't be the whole prologue, the entire prologue. You can go read the entire prologue. It's not going to change what I'm reading. We're just going to the point of what you need to understand while searching, all right, while seeking out your own salvation. All right, let me find this. All right, it reads, "Wherefore let me entreat you to read it with favor and attention, and to pardon us, wherein we may seem to come short of some words which we have labored to interpret. For the same things uttered in Hebrew and translated into another tongue have not the same force in them, and not only these things, but the law itself and the prophets and the rest of the books have no small difference when they are spoken in their own language." All right, so that's telling you that reading these things in the English is not enough. All right, you have to search out, all right, study, read, and go back to the etymology of the languages. What did it say? It said when they are spoken in their own language. So what was their own language? In the Old Testament, all right, if you go back to the Hebrew. And in the New Testament, it goes back to the Greek, which some of those root words in the Greek will go back to the Hebrew. Okay? And that's what was stated there in that part of the prologue. All right, let me do that again in the Good News translation, which again is in English, just as I read it in there. But it says it in a different way, slightly different way. All right, this is prologue of the book of Sirach in the Good News translation. reads, "Let me urge you then to read this book carefully and with an open mind, and please be patient in those places where, in spite of all my diligent efforts, I may not have translated some phrases very well. What was originally written in Hebrew does not always have exactly the same sense when it is translated into another language. That is true not only of this book, but even of the law itself, the prophets, and the other books. The translations differ quite a bit from the original." All right, so you have to go deeper than the English to get understanding. I've learned this from my teachers, all right, which they've learned from their teachers. Ultimately, it all goes back to the spirit and power of Yahweh and yaHAWASHI. All right, but the wicked, since this world is wicked, okay, has a spirit of wicked, is ran by the wicked. Excuse me. Let's go Job 9:24. All right, this is Job 9 and verse 24. "The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, who and where is he?" So that's two things. First, the earth, right, is given into the hand of the wicked. They run this place right now, all right, through the spirit and power of Yahweh for a reason. All right, through the spirit and power of Yahweh and yaHAWASHI for a reason. Okay. All right. So this is why the world is in the state that it is in. Okay. Another thing in that scripture, Job 9:24, it says, "He covereth the faces of the judges thereof." This is a clue of who this man is. Who changed the likeness of the Messiah, which now you tell people about the Messiah being melanated, not like that picture. Okay. A lot of people are not shocked. All right. Why is this? Because the truth is starting to take hold like the Lord said it would. Okay. So who did that? Who did that? And if they would lie to you about the image and push this image so tough, what I mean by that, if you say that name, Jesus, or type it in a Google search, everyone is going to think of the same image. Also, everyone is going to think of the Messiah, the Son of God. All right. That thing was pushed really tough. All right. So who would do this? And if they would change the image, wouldn't they change the name? All right. All the answers are in these scriptures. All right. But these truths, all right, hurt the people in power. They do not like the truth. Okay. All right. They are crafty. They're subtle. Excuse me. All right. But all of this points to whom they are. All right. The things that they took out of the scriptures, the things that they put in the scriptures or added to, okay, shows exactly whom they are. All right. And since this truth cuts them, all right, since this truth is likened to a two-edged sword, okay, since it cuts them, all right, it does not feel good. All right. It cuts them past the white meat. It cuts them to the spirit. This is how we've ended up on those most violent groups list. All right. Just because of this word. All right. But they know that most of the world is not going to know this and only adhere to the title of that list and see the groups on it and to persecute us. All right. Just like they did the Lord. All right. Just like they did the Lord. Okay. So that is how we've found our way onto this list. And it doesn't help that these other Israelite groups do foolish, very foolish things. All right. They get the ministry blamed. Okay. Now people just group all Israelites into the black Hebrew Israelite group. Okay. This is not a black thing. As a matter of fact, we are not even black. All right, we're not African either. Israel is in southwestern Asia. All right, so this has all been a blanket of lies that has covered the world. Who has done this? All right, this man is still in power. All right, so it is Esau Edom. Okay, a lot of people like to say that Esau Edom is done away with, but they are not. This is the Zondervan's Compact Bible Dictionary. If you go to Edom at the bottom of the definition, let's get here first. All right, the bottom of the definition of Edom, it says Edom figures prominently in the prophetic scriptures as the scene of great future judgments. She is the only neighbor of the Israelites who was not given any promise of mercy from God. All right, so even though they've learned, for example, how to put people in captivity, more so through Ishmaelites. All right, yes, Ishmael and all these other nations are going to be judged by the Lord and had a hand in the persecution of Israel. All right, and they are all going to get paid back for that. Israel will be on top. All right, there will be slavery in the kingdom. And the kingdom is here on earth. The earth is going nowhere, right? Despite what they say. But even though they learned this from Ishmael, okay, they went too far with it. All right. When we were at our lowest, they kept their knee on our necks, to say the least. All right. They kept the pressure on us, overdid it. All right. So they are going to receive double what they have dished out. All right. Esau is going to receive no mercy, as we just read. Okay. Because they gave no mercy. And they give no mercy to this day. Okay. So also, this is the self-called white man. Okay. Look at who runs everything. All right. They run everything, and they want to be known that they run everything, and at the same time, they don't want to know, or they don't want it to be known. When you speak about this, they throw out the word anti-Semitism at you. Okay. Or they try to hide and point to something else. All right. So do you want to be known for the things that you have done, or don't you? All right. Okay. You cannot hide. No matter where you go, there you are. With that being said, does that mean every white looking person is an Edomite? No. Okay. Israel, for example, was scattered into all nations of the earth. So we look like, walk like, talk like, and worship like all nations of the earth, which is the worshiping part, all right, is why we are in trouble, have been in trouble from the beginning. All right, we were supposed to be holy or set apart from all these other nations. Instead, we intermingled with them and their ways. Okay? And we still are doing the same today. All right. And so the punishment continues today. The punishment is going to continue because no one can take this man out of his place except for the Lord. All right. In the meantime, we are to tell the truth. And this is more true than anything else down here. All right. Everything has been fucked up and fucked over by this man. Excuse my language. All right. But so Israel has been scattered into all nations. So we look like so-called white people. Okay. We look like so-called Asians. We look like so-called Indians. We look like so-called Africans. We're not the same as Africans. All right. But we look like all of the nations. All right. So you cannot judge by your eye only. You cannot judge by your eye only. All right. And now, even with that being said, the Messiah was not a so-called white man, okay? Does not look like that picture at all whatsoever. Look at the descriptions. You go look at the descriptions of the Lord that it gives. All right? Go look. Okay? So that is, again, how we have found ourselves on a most violent groups list above the KKK, mind you. All right? And when you hear these things, when people hear these things, do they actually want to go body for body, as it says? You compare how many bodies the KKK has and how many bodies the true men of the Lord have, okay? There's no comparison, all right? But they use the people's laziness or the people's incredulity, all right, to, or against them, okay? Against them. They use all of this against you. They use you against you, all right? You people who are not the Lord's anyway, okay? So, why is it important to know about this man? All right, let's go to Ecclesiastes 1 and 9. Or really, why is it important to know about this man and these other nations and ourselves? All right. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 1 and verse 9. It reads, "The thing that hath been, it is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done, and there is no new thing under the sun." All right, this not only speaks of reincarnation, being raised from the dead, okay? This speaks of things happen. If the same spirits are keep coming back, all right, the same things are going to keep happening over and over and over again. All right. In these latter times, these last times, again, there's a remnant of the Lord's down here speaking this truth, okay, which is building a testimony against everyone else. All right, pointing the finger at them. Okay, the writing is on the wall. Okay, letting you know. And that's why a lot of people don't want to hear this. All right. One, they know it's the truth. Two, they're in their lot. They're not supposed to want to hear this. All right. The Lord has a remnant and an elect that are going to actually hear these things and come back. Okay. Turn. Not a 360, but a 180. And go away from this place. Okay. That's how you know. That's another clue to how you know who or whom this prophecy is for. Only the ones that take heed to it. Okay. Now let's go to was it Romans 15:4, I think. Let's see. All right, this is Romans 15:4. So, knowing all these things are in these pages, all right, these things teach us and guide us. Romans 15:4 reads, "For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we, through patience and comfort of the scriptures, might have hope." So we find these things in here. We know them to be true. Okay. Because we put our hope and faith in the Lord, and he is faithful and true. Two things he won't do is lie and fail. All right. So prophecy points to these people and us being who we are and who they are. All right. So it's prophecy. It's not us saying that these people are those people. It's prophecy. It's the Lord's word. All right. So all these things were written aforetime. All right. And all these things were written for our learning. Okay. There was another place I was going to go. Lost my train of thought really quick. Oh, let's go to see if I can find this. see. It's in Ezekiel. All right, because this is what the Lord told us to do. Let me see. Is it 13:7? Hold on a minute. Let me see. Okay, no, it's not 13:7. All right, hold on. I'll find it. Just bear with me. All right, hold on. Hold on a second. All right, let's do Ezekiel. This is Ezekiel 3:1. Moreover, he said unto me, Son of man, eat that thou findest, eat this roll, and go speak unto the house of Israel. All right, so over and over again, man, this is showing you who this word is for. All right, but eating this roll means taking in this these scriptures, all right, taking in this truth, all right, and going to go tell it. Okay, not just taking it in and keeping it to yourself, but going to go tell these things. All right, now hold on, because I know there's something else in here. I know I'm all around it, but maybe it's chapter 14. All right, hold on before I go. Me 3:15. Yeah, 17. 3:17. 3:17. Ezekiel 3:17. Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore hear the word at my mouth and give them warning from me. All right, so all of these things that we tell you are warnings, man. Lessons. Okay, remember, everything written aforetime was written for our learning. All right, so these are things that the Lord commanded us to do. All right, so when you push away or don't want to hear what someone is saying about these scriptures, you are actually saying that you don't want to hear what the Lord has told us to tell you. All right. Okay, that is what you are doing. All right. So now, what else does he tell us to do? Let's go to 2 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 15. All right, it reads, "Study to show thyself approved unto God." Study, man. Okay. Again, 2 Timothy 2 and 15. "Study to show thyself approved unto God, a workman that needeth not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth." All right, if you do the things that he tells you, all right, study, become a workman, okay, meditate on these things day and night, you'll be able to rightly divide the word of truth. Okay, again in Revelation 1 and 3. All right, we're about to stop this video, but Revelation 1 and 3, it reads, "Blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the words of this prophecy, and keep those things which are written, for the time is at hand." Okay, and people will say that, well, they've been saying it's the last days for a long time. That's because it's been the last days for a long time. What does that mean? You just stop listening to the Lord? All right, he tells us to endure until he comes. Has he came? Has the second coming happened yet? No. Then we are still to stay in this thing. All right, endure. All right. So it's been a while since we've mentioned all these things on this channel, so I just wanted to go back on or back into that, because all of these things are important. All right, all of them. Okay. So the last to the title, because the title is titled this way because in the midst of the last series that we did on this channel, it was mentioned that yaHAWASHI, all right, which let me go into that really quick, okay? Speaking of the Hebrew, all right, at the beginning of this video, you heard Kol Halal, Yahweh, Bahashem, yaHAWASHI, Bahashem, Rakaha Kodash. All right, what you hear right there is the Hebrew, the ancient Hebrew, the Paleo Hebrew, otherwise known as the Lashawan Kodash. All right, so what you hear is Kol is all, Halal is praise, Yahweh is the Almighty's name. Okay, Yah is He, Hawa is He is, or Yahweh is He is, or He to be, or He exists. Okay, Bahashem is in the name. Okay, Ba in Bahashem in the name. Okay, yaHAWASHI. All right, that is the Messiah. That is whom the world ignorantly calls Jesus. All right, the letter J didn't come into existence until 1524. But these things have been here before 1524. So how can his name be Jesus, right? But you won't know this unless you do what the Lord told you to do. Study, become a workman, readeth, right? So that you can rightly divide the word of truth, right? All right, and the names are very important. The names are very important. All right, when you pray, if you're not praying in the right names, where are your prayers going? Right? And how do they feel about those prayers? Okay. So again, Kol Halal, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh, Shai, Bahashem, Rakaha, Kodash, or Kodash, Rakaha, Holy Spirit. Okay. And we just spoke before about this being the Lashawan Kodash. Again, the word Kodash, holy. Okay. And Lashawan is tongue, the holy tongue. So all praise to the Almighty. All right, all praise Yahweh in the name of His Son yaHAWASHI, in the name of the Holy Spirit. All right, Kohalal Yahweh, Bahoshem yaHAWASHI, Bahoshem Rakahak Quadash. Again, that's the Lashawan Quadash, or tongue holy. All right, Hebrew, you go from right to left, so it's the holy tongue. Okay. So, and as far as the Paleo Hebrew, the Lashawan Quadash, all right, yes, it's important to go back into. I've learned this from my teachers. All right, it's important to go back into these words. It's very important to go back into these words. But the pure language, all right, the language in its entirety will be restored back unto us when the Lord gets here. That's when that's going to happen. So then people over there saying they have known who they are, they've had the language. No, the Lord said He's going to restore these things, including the land. He's going to take us to the land Himself. So how did they get over there? All right, how did they get over there? Okay. And also, they call themselves Jewish, right? This isn't only about Jewish, all right? Jew is short for Judah, the tribe of Judah. Where did they tell you the rest of the tribes were? All right, the truth is here now. Okay? The truth is here now. It's being separated from all these other lies that have been told from the beginning. Okay? And it's standing way above these lies, man. Way above these lies. As a matter of fact, man, there's one more verse I want to get. Oh, Luke 21 and 15. It just came to me. Let me see. Luke 21 and verse 15. For I will give you a mouth and wisdom which all your adversaries shall not be able to gainsay nor resist. All right, you cannot refute, you can't gainsay, you can't resist this truth. Okay, can't do anything about it, man. The truth is a truth. All right, doesn't matter how you feel about it or any of that. All right, facts don't care about feelings. All right, just to X that other F word out of there. All right, but yeah. So, Lord willing, the next topic we are going to go into will be from notes again. All right, from notes. All right, and we'll title it "The Lord is," or yaHAWASHI is the arm of the Lord. Okay, we just got done doing the series yaHAWASHI is the Word. All right, now we're going into yaHAWASHI being the arm of the Lord. All right, so with that, all praise to Yahweh, Bahoshem, yaHAWASHI, Bahoshem, Rakaha, Quadash. Double honors to my elders, apostles, and the bishops of Great Millstone, where I have learned this truth and where I am still learning this truth. And also shalom to the remnant and the elect of Israel. All right, this is not a black thing, and it doesn't matter your skin tone. Okay, you can still be an Israelite. Filter yourself through these scriptures. All right, and you'll have a clue. Okay, but ultimately the Lord is going to be the judge of that. The Lord is going to know whom are His. Okay, so again, shalom to the remnant and to the elect of Israel. Lord willing, I'm of that number, and Lord willing, we'll see you in the next video. Shalom.